See you here. Okay, so where are we? We're talking about the rules in the last class, guys. And sorry, I forgot to share something. I would like to do it now, so sorry for that. Just give me a couple of minutes so that I can quickly share. So I would say, guys, if you can take if you guys can take the workbooks from them, that's fine. Or someone online can share it to the whole group. So I'm sending you the documents for MDF exercises. You need to follow this mandatorily to understand how things work. So I would say it's very important for you to complete it. Where is it? Where is it? Guys, these two are MDF exercises. So please so I just shared with the group. Okay, so if someone can send an email to the whole group, that would be nice. Or you can also send it to me so that I can forward. Okay, so maybe Ritu, if you can do that, that would be nice.
Right, yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, guys, so I just gave you the assignment as well as a practice exercise, which has step-by-step approach of a solution. So it just asks you to do this, do that, go here, do that, something like that, so that you guys can understand MDF. Remember one important point, since you guys are all using the same system, so at a point you might come across a message which says you are almost close to complete your 25 standard MDF objects available. 25 objects available for your license. At that point, please stop, send me an email immediately, and or once your practice is done, delete the exercise that you did. Otherwise, I have to delete it. Anyway, I'll be doing it. So if you are done, once you feel comfortable with your work, please delete it. Okay, that way you can save the space for others. Because we only have 25 custom objects that can be created. Okay? So in the last class, we've seen few rules. Today, we try to write some other rules. So these are not something that we're going to do in the MDF object, at least. So I want to write the rules across the success factors landscape. It can be anywhere. Okay, it's not just MDF objects where you can write rules. You can write rules in any object that you want. Succession, no. I'm not talking about other modules. I'm talking about Employee Central. MDF is just a custom object, right? So I'm talking about employment or personal or anywhere, whatever objects that you have, job info, custom, compensation, or your employment or personal details. You can write rules anywhere in your succession objects. MDF. Event reasons are different. They are all workflow related stuff. So those are different objects, but the business rules that I'm talking about should be written in the instance, not in the data models. configure business rules. It's not MDF rules. It can be used anywhere. That's what I was about to show. In the last two classes, we have written rules where we have used in MDF objects. Now I want to use them in a different place. Okay, that's what I'm about to do now. So before I do that, let me see. Sorry?
on phone. నా 12,000 నీ అకౌంట్ ఉన్నాయి, నేను క్యాష్ ఇస్తాను, నా అకౌంట్ లో ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేయాలి. లేదా మీకు కొత్త 12,000 క్యాష్ ఇచ్చేస్తాను, నా అకౌంట్ లో.
ప్రసాద్, నా అకౌంట్ లో కూడా ఇస్తారా? Please put yourself on mute, guys. Sorry, guys. Okay, so let's come back. Let's come back to what we're doing now. So I'm going to the succession data model from the instance. So I just want to see where we can put a rule. So one thing I'm thinking about is, let's say we can create age. Okay, we can write a rule to calculate age. Person info. There is no rule to write. It's okay. There is no custom field for age. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to calculate age of an employee. Okay, I'm taking a custom field, age. This is the neighbor, yes. Is it editable? No, I'll put it only view. That means I'm not able to type the age myself. Okay, so just creating age. So I created a custom field called age in the personal info. In the personal info object, I just created person info. That's nothing but biographical information. I created a field called age.
Have you typed the word age, or did you select it from the top now?
I just created now. I just created a select custom field called long, custom long one, and put the label as age. Okay, so now what should I do? The next point. Permission in first place. I should see this field, right? The one that I just created, I should have authorization to say it. So So for those folks who are done, we'll be done with Employee Central by next week, including time management. By next week. Next weekend, yep. So where is our age field? It should be in your, it should be here or different place. Where should it be? Should be here, the Employee Central effective dated fields. So it's in your biographical information. These are all country specific fields. That's why you see a country name in front of it. Home address, job information. No, it's not here. So we should search for age. Where is age? Shortcut? That's what I'm looking. It should be either ideally in your employer central effective date entities. Okay, so it should be somewhere here. No, that's it. So there are different sections, right? So we need to go to that section. Biographical info. Home address. So. Let's see any which ways. We go to
I think maybe we just. Praveen, can we go back and see that MDF object label properties? The one which you created default label or whatever.
That's age.
Yeah.
The field that I created is age.
Did you update the default?
It's your internet connections. That's what
Okay, so the age is already coming, guys. Okay, there is a rule that I already wrote in the backend, so previously. I don't want this one, right? So, sorry? Manage business configuration. The scenario is we're trying to calculate age of an employee based on date of birth. So there are no rules available, to be honest, but still doing. Sorry? Let's take, I will take a different thing, okay, custom date. Custom date. Let's use custom date 3, date of retirement for an employee. Okay, so this is date of retirement. I remove the age field because I see some already rules and junk there. Yeah, I'm giving it in the person info, biographical information portlet. So what I would like to do is I would like to calculate the date of retirement of an employee. Okay, so now let's go and write a rule. we'll see the permissions. So we'll first write a rule to see how it is done. So the point is very simple. My customer is looking at rate of retirement of an employee. So the date of retirement in my, age of retirement in my organization is, let's say, 58. So once you complete 58, you are by default retired from the organization. Okay, so irrespective of when you join, so once you cross 58, you're no longer with the organization. So that's what my company says. So in that case, let's put this retirement rule. So the object is person info. So it's biographical information. So it's your biographical information. Okay, so when is this true? Whenever we have the date of birth field is not equal to null. That means whenever the date of birth is field is filled, so by default the system has to calculate the date of retirement. So we have the date of retirement field that we just created. So the date of retirement is equal to, we need to create a logic now. So when would be the date of retirement? So date of retirement would be date of birth plus 58 years. Right? So date of birth would be date plus, that means current date of birth plus the base date would be date of birth plus number of months and number of days. So date plus number of months plus number of days. If you want to put some days or months to be added to your base date, we can do that using this particular function called date plus. What I am going to do is, I'm going to put a number value 0, not 0, months, right? So days, for days I'll put it as 0. So for number of days it will be 0, but months, what I can do is I can take a calculator. So the calculator is 58 into 12, 696 months. So from the date of hire to 698 months, sorry, date of birth to 698 months. So we are adding date of birth plus 698 months to the date of birth, which will take you to the retirement age. That means you only work for 698 months in your life. Not even work 698 months, right? You're 25 years, maybe you won't get a job. So so now what we did here is we're creating a field which will store your date of retirement calculated based on your date of birth plus the number of months that are supposed to be your actual number of working months or whatever functionality that you have. Concept is simple, 58 years. How do you achieve it is what is we are looking for. So if it's 60 years, you put 720. 60 into 12. Right? So something of that sort. So now I need to assign this rule to, where should I assign this rule? Is it at a field level or is it at an object level? Right, object level. Because this particular field, I'm putting it in a view level, right? So you can also trigger it based on date of birth, but I don't want to do that. Because this one, by default, should always show the latest value. So I go to manage business configuration. Remember, when we are putting rules in objects from succession data model, the event reasons or options that you have are on init. That means whenever you go onto that object, the rule will be triggered. On view, so whenever you view that particular object, the rule will be triggered. On save, that means whenever you save the object, the rule will be triggered. On change, so obviously whenever you change, the rule will be triggered. So these are the options that you have: on init, on view, on edit, on change and edit are the same, on save. So for example, I'll put the retirement rule here. The event type that you have: on save, on edit, on view, save alert, on post save. So let's say I will put it as on view. Okay, whenever I view that portlet, I want the rule to be triggered. I save it. Person info. The object is person info. The label is biographical information. Right, so now I go to Madam Carla. So we'll go and see our personal information. I guess this fields might already been used, that's why we got our permissions. You see the rate of retirement is already calculated on view. 75 to 33. 25 plus 33. 25 plus 33. 58. So you're taking 58 years as our retirement date. Right? So you got 9/12/2033. Why? Why not 7/12? Why is it not showing? It should be 7/12, right? It's showing 2 days extra.
Hello.
Yes.
Days are 2 months.
I guess it should be days if I'm not.
No, actually, I think 12
I think it's
12
months, 2 months.
to 696 months instead of 696. You gave
Okay.
698, I believe.
Okay, I gave a wrong number actually. It's instead of 696, I gave 698. You're right, Suresh.
That's
You're right.
maybe.
Yeah, of course, that's what. I gave 696, sorry, 698 instead of 696. 698. Maybe I just missed it. So 12 into 58. 12 into 58, 12 5 60, 12 8 96. 696. Right. So now we go back. So the rule should change. Now you see the rule coming back. So on view. So whenever I view it, the rule gets triggered. So it's not based on what you view. Whenever you go into that particular screen, that triggers. Not just when you view biographical information. Don't say, I did not view biographical information. Okay.
Praveen?
So we cannot use only for certain employees. Only condition that you can put is in the if rules. In the if condition in the rule, you can say, let's say if the employee group is so and so, then trigger this particular rule. Only option is that. If user dot job information dot employee group is so and so, then trigger this particular rule.
Praveen?
Right. Yeah, got it. Mm-hmm. 1 second, Suresh. Yeah. So,
Sure.
good question actually. So let's say there is a set of people who are like contractors and who don't have retirement. So what you have to do in that case, if you don't want to put date of retirement for them, is go to that rule conditions. In the if condition, I just put if date of birth is not equal to null. You can put date of birth is not equal to null, and if the employee type or whatever condition that you have is equal to contract, not equal to contractors, then trigger this rule. So that will work. So sorry, Suresh, you had a question?
Uh,
Hello? Hello?
Praveen?
Yes?
Yeah, regarding, can you just show us in the rule regarding formatting or like, substring kind of if there is any rule, just point out or just give what functions to use to find out, say, for example, I want to find out what are the last 4 characters or how many characters in that particular, say here in the screen you see document number. In the document number, they have to enter only numerics. They should not, I should not allow any characters. How do I restrict that?
I would restrict it based on the data type. So in the document number, if you have to only enter document number, not a string, then the data type should be requested to number. That way, I won't validate, I don't even need to validate, write a rule for that purpose. Okay, so the data type, what I do is when I create a field, I choose it as a number. That way, you can only enter numbers. You can't put string. If you put string by default for everything that you use, then you are in problems. Because string takes everything.
Yeah, that is true. I agree. But the reason why I asked is the work permit. When you see that work permit, something like that, sometimes it says that it is a EIN number, or like if, say, for example, social SSN comes as three characters hyphen, 3 numbers.
Right. So for that SSN, if you remember a country-specific succession data model, we have this formatting for the SSN. You're right. So that's something that we need to use. That's a standard option. So we have. I'll show you. Let me show you.
Right. No. I'm just giving an example. Like if in that case. SF already provided that SSN, but if there is a field which is a custom field, and if I have to apply those kind of restrictions, so is there a way that I can check for first 3 characters or like last 3 characters, or trim any substring kind of thing? That's just to make sure, because I noticed one of the requirement is like, say, for example, the phone number. Phone number is for like 3 characters area code within brackets. Some companies, they say that it should be within the brackets, and then rest of the 5 characters as is. And some companies say that 3 plus again hyphen and 4 characters. I'm just giving an example, but in that case, is there like, can we, okay, there's a phone number.
So here, you can use any of these functions actually. So for your question, I understand, I saw some SCN post, and I guess you might be referring to the same one. So there we need to use %d to identify it's a decimal, and %z or something to identify an alphabet. Let's say I understand your question. Actually, this is something that came up somewhere I saw as well. So for that, you need to use %d to identify the format. So it should be in any of these templates actually. So
Yeah, I mean, when I tried, I have in the first
so I
instant.
guess it should
The
be
first
something like
try.
this. It should be something like this.
Right,
So
right, right. Yeah, I can do that and I can concatenate. But what happened is, as I am not able to evaluate what is the first three characters or last four characters or substring functionality. So each time when I look into this modify, it is, even though there is a hyphen, it is adding one more hyphen based on the rule, because I'm not able to make any checks within the code. So I'm not asking you to write right away. I'm just asking you in case if you can point to any other rule which is written such a way so I can take
I
a look.
guess I have something somewhere previously. I
Sure,
can show you
please,
that.
please.
Yeah. I don't
Thank you.
have it by hand right now, but I think I came across something similar. End of the day, if, for example, if you would like to say that, let's say a particular number format should be decimals or something, so you
Right.
have the same thing. You need to put %d for a decimal and %z for alphabet. And similar to what we have done in our succession data model, country specific. So you have, if you go to SSN or anything, there is a format, A to Z, %d, something like this. This is what you use in the brackets, which talks about the formatting. You guys have a problem? Something? Then? Okay, so just kidding, man. Sorry. Okay, so the point is, I'm sorry, I was doing something. I came across here. What was I doing? So I was doing a rule on the rate of retirement, right? So similarly, for example, let's say. Permissions, I guess I already gave everything for my user long back, and I sometimes just deleted the fields without removing permissions and all. So that's why we just need to go to employee central effective data entities and map it there. No, we don't do it. We just note it. We only view purpose, yes. Yeah, we only view purpose. No, it won't affect the system. Notification is possible, which is tomorrow's concept that we are planning to do. Tomorrow we'll do alerts and notifications. So what I'm going to use is based on the date of retirement, I will trigger a rule which will send an alert to my admin user which says the employee is retiring, let's say retirement, or let's say the employee's work permit is expiring. This is something that we're going to do in the next class actually. That's what I planned. So today I thought we'll write few rules and then we go on to the alerts part and then we close rules, then go to analytics part. Right now, yes, it's used for reporting purpose. No, we can't trigger a termination event based on your field. No. No. See, that might be customized as per your customer, right? How can you say that an employee in India retires in 58 years, whereas if you go to any European country, they work till 70? So how does that vary? It doesn't. So you don't have anything standard of such, I would say. SAP, I think it should be customized. Exactly. That's where are you putting the conditions? What is your retirement age? So if you want age of an employee, pull it. And if you want to take all the filter, put a filter on the report where it says 58, you get the employees, right? But it's not a standard way of doing at least. Anyway, so let's come back, guys. So I wanted to talk about something. Actually, I got deviated and I forgot what I was about to talk about. Not you, not anyone, actually, in my ministry. Right. So, okay, guys. So coming back, let's try to do this. For me, all rules are similar, guys, and you trigger based on fields or something. So, thinking about a scenario which I can share. You get a lot of scenarios in time, actually. When you go to time, you can create a lot of objects. You have to write a lot of rules. Based on that, you see a lot of scenarios. Okay, coming back to our configuration, let's write a rule in your sorry. Rate of transfer. That's not a scenario, actually. No company will do that scenario. If you are in a location for 2 years, you can get an anniversary emails or something, but not one position. You can't say 2 years, I don't think. I mean, you can end of the day if you want to, but not a regular standard scenario. Any scenarios that you want me to write, guys, on the objects? Yes, Suresh, go ahead, please.
Yeah, Praveen, the question is, we are writing rules. And as just now we saw a rule which we said like it updates the retirement date.
Right.
Okay. So the question is, as long as we are not touching the record, the rule is not applied and the retirement date is not updated, right?
I did not touch the object, right? It's on view, so it gets triggered.
Yes, but even it is in view, that means unless you go to that view and somebody is viewing that record, the date was not changed, right? And the retirement date is written in the database or not?
It is written in the database, of course, yes.
So every day it changes.
No, it won't change. Once you have a retirement date, your date of birth won't change every day, right?
No, not date of birth. So, what I'm asking is, the day when he joined. So when he joined, or whenever the date of retirement the object was, the field is created, that time it calculates and it puts the date, and from there, from then, it's not going to change.
No, it's not going to change. So the point is, the question is, so let's say when we hire an employee, we get the date of birth. I'm just putting it in simple words so that everyone can.
Yes, please.
Okay. So when we create the record, let's say I created a date of birth, system by default triggers this rule and puts the date of retirement field in that particular field level, right? So that means the data is stored in the database. It won't change. Once you don't change your date of birth, nothing will change. It will be there. Only if there is something that's dynamic and changes, then there might be a possibility which will change today. But usually that's not the case. These issues, whatever we do, for example, age is a good example where it will change every day, right? So it stores the latest value as per today. When you go and pull the report, it gives your today's rate. Or if you go to date effectiveness, based on that date, system will calculate. The engine calculates based on that date. Age is a good example which changes. You see? Because today, let's say if my date of birth is, what is today? 7th July 1970 or whatever it is. So once I get today, I change, let's say, from 45 to 46. Next year, same date will change to 47. So that's something which changes on a day-to-day basis. So those are the values which will be kind of transient data. That's called transient data. Transient data. So it's like changing data. This is not something which is standard. This changes. So data will be recorded as per dates. Date effectiveness. So when you pull a report based on effective date, system calculates based on that effective date. Okay? Is that clear, Suresh?
I just don't want to go more, but as you said, 1970 is the date of birth, and as we are looking at that record today, it says that 30 plus 47, 45 years, something like, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't touch that record until next year, if nobody is viewing, even that, I mean, like, it's not viewed by anybody. So what would be the content of the field, age field? Is it 45 or 46 for the next
So it
year?
would be based on today, whatever it is.
But,
It's
okay,
based on-
okay. Makes sense, right? Understood.
Okay.
Thanks.
Right. Okay, guys. So let's write a different rule now.
Maybe we can calculate the service in the company here. We can write a rule like.
Sorry, what is that? I'm so sorry.
It is actually based on the date of joining. So we will calculate the every
Service
December.
and organization, right? So service.
Yes.
Okay. I can do that. It's not a big deal actually. We can do it. It's the same rule as such. But let's say we'll calculate. So first we need to have a field which will store this service, manage business configuration. So where is service stored? In your employment information, obviously, because your date of birth is stored in your date of birth is stored in your employment information. So employment info. So this is your employment info. Right, so I go here, I take long double. Service in the organization. So what do you want? Do you want it in months or years or which one?
We will have it like months and years. How many months and how many years?
Months and years, I doubt if it can show together. No, it can show in years or months, but not both of them. It won't show 1 year, 5 months or something.
Then I think we can have it in months. Yeah, we will have it in months. Number of months.
Months. Service in months, and then this is not a required field. And I'll put this to view only so that we can't edit it. Okay. Or maybe I think we can put it in string and then show the value. Let's see, anyway, we'll see that. Service in months. Okay, so I take this, go back to business rules, create new rule. This is seniority. This is employment. So this can be always true. Set service is equal to, it should be difference in calendar years or difference in calendar months, or say difference in calendar years, difference in no, this is not days. Completed weeks, between dates, completed. Get number of days, or the number of months from hire date. Okay, all these things are possible. Work history, days and months. All the different types of functions that are available to calculate. Let's say I'll get the number of months from hire date. This would satisfy our requirement exactly. Start date would be our hire date. Where is our hire date? Hire date. End date would be today, ideally. So if you want the hiring month included, yes, no, yes, save. Okay. So what I do is I'll go and put this rule in my object. Sorry. Manage business configuration, go to employment. So then we go to so seniority was rule that I just created. So on view, I would say employment details, save. Let's say we go to some. So do you think we can see that now? I don't think we can see it. Permissions might not be there for all the fields. I might have given also, I don't know. So we don't see it, so it's not there. Should go to permission roles. We'll go to
Praveen, you teach absence management also, right?
Of course, yeah, we'll do that. We'll be doing it after we do analytics. Right, so service in months, we just give the permission, we'll save it. Where? So just go to employee, system admin. From system admin, you have to go to your employee central fields, right? Employee fields. No, I did not go to effective date and entities. I go to employee fields. Actually, what is that one? Other one. Employee data, I guess. So in permissions, I go to employee data, and employee data, you go to employment information. So anyway, you have to practice it. So you should go search. You should be able to see it. In employee data, employment details, you should have it. Carla Grant again. So I go to employment information.
Praveen, we had done it in the employee.
And you see there is a problem. It's just says service in months. And it shows 12, which is wrong. It should not be 12 at least. 14 into 12, 84 plus 6 should be 90. So it shows something wrong. What could be the problem? Someone had a question, sorry?
In the permissions, Bhavan here, in the permissions we had given the permissions under employment data, right?
Employee data, within employee data went to employment data.
Not in the employee central, right?
Not in the employee central effective date it is. Because employment details is not effective dated. You don't have date effectiveness.
Yeah.
Your hire date will not change with date. Right, so why is this not giving us correct one? Let's take a different one. So let's take this to today. Fourteen 12s, right? Sorry. So 14 12s are 14 12s, 140 plus 28, 178. Sorry, 168 plus 6, 174. Which is right. Right, so it's now working. I just took a different function which takes the difference in months between two different dates. So it always runs the rule as of today. So this is how you take it in months. If you want years, what you can do is difference in calendar years and then just put the number of years here. It will take the service in years or months or days, whatever you want. But it won't say 1 year, 3 months or something because it's two different types of data. Sure. So I'm showing you the rule once again. So configure business rules. Seniority. Here you go. So what we will be doing in next class would be, we'll be dealing with notifications and alerts. This is quite important because this is something that's at least not the regular people will work on, in the sense, unless until you have some real-time stuff, you might never see this anywhere. Even if you go to SAP training or anywhere, you don't have these notifications or alerts getting triggered, alerts especially. So tomorrow we'll try to set a new alert, see how that works. So maybe based on date of retirement or maybe based on date of expiry of your permits, work permits. So we'll set a rule because that's where you typically use as alerts. Okay, so we'll set it up. Okay. All right. So I hope you written the rules so that I can close. Right. So we'll talk about notifications and alerts tomorrow in the next class. Then we'll continue with analytics after that. Okay, so we'll deal with advanced reporting after the next class. And once we're done with advanced reporting, then we'll go to time management. So time management will typically take 2 to 3 days. So it's not huge, but the concept is complete. So it's all about going step by step, the right approach. And then we'll take timesheet functionality.
Praveen?
Yes.
Does it include online reporting in that advanced reporting also?
Yes, of course. We'll talk about online report designer. We'll talk about detailed reporting. We'll talk about ad hoc reporting. We'll talk about pivot queries and all these things tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. You guys have a good day. We'll catch up tomorrow. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.